What is going on, YouTube? We are back on the 6.7 Camaro and we are block sanding it out. I am using a 320 pad, finish pad that I went to O'Reilly's this morning and bought. I know everyone's going to say you need a bigger pad or file to block sand this car out, but honestly I don't. I already block sanded with the file. I already got the major dents out. I'm not looking for dents at this point. Right now, all I'm focusing on is getting the primer smoothed out, getting all the imperfections out of it. Any orange peel that I had in the primer, get it out, and then we're going to respray it. And then do this all over again. But I thought I'd share with you how I do it. And there's a quick way and there's a long way, and I'm probably doing it the long way. And I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because this is my car. This is what I enjoy doing. I like it. It's hard to stay away from this thing, but I'm just going to explain the process that I'm going through as I do it. Right now we are working on the back quarter. I'm sitting in the chair. I'm starting with this section here, and then we'll work our way up that way. And what I'm doing is I sanded this here already. And there's a little bit more that I want to sand on that because I can still see pits in it, which I do not like. And your paint's only going to look as good as the foundation your paint's going on, or the prep area you're putting your paint on. So I'm being really meticulous with it. You can see when I sand it up here, you see all that shiny there. That's what we're getting rid of, and we want it to dull out more like this. But there's still more sanding to be done in this area. And all I'm doing is with my sander, or sanding pad, is just sanding every which way. I'm not pushing, the sanding pad's doing the work. Now I'm going to do that until we get all of that out. You can see there, you can see the shiny there. Yep. As we sand on it, it'll start to disappear and it'll all become uniform and tie in with the rest that I already sanded. As far as dents go, I can still find dents with this. Small dents, like I said, I already got all the big dents out of it. I did have one small dent here that I got some glazing putty for. Let's see if I can get down here and show you guys better. So there is a small dent there, right there. It's a little bit checkered up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's checkered up right there. That's where I couldn't get my sanding block to sand as I was going across it, and as I feel it, and as I run my hand across it, I can feel that dip in it. So that's how I am going to be checking for dents, is all by feel at this point. As many of you know, is for it was 4 or 5 years, I was a cabinet maker, and I also finished the cabinets. So I do have a lot of experience in sanding a finish. It's not the same as cabinets, don't get me wrong, but you're looking for the same thing in the cabinet as well. As you don't want dents or ripples, you want all those sanded out. And so as far as that goes, I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, and this is just the way I'm doing it. It might be not the way that everybody wants to do it, because they want it to be fast, they want it to be quick, and they want their projects done, which I understand. But I want this done, and I want it done as well as I possibly can do it. So we are going to do it this way. I hope everybody's enjoying their day, working on the projects, if they got any. If not, then go get you one, because this is a lot of fun. As far as getting your work done. Neighbor honking at me. I got another, oh, rotate my phone too much. I got another dent right in here. I can feel that. It's not very deep. It's just, I got glazing putty that I'll fix all that fun stuff with if we can't sand it out of this primer. I was using 180 like I said I was going to, and I decided to change of pace a little bit, because like I said, I'm trying to get this car as perfect as I can, and 320 is going to take it off really slow. I still am going to re-primer this and redo the steps on this whole car. It is a lot of work. I've already been around this car sanding 2 or 3 times already, and this is 3rd or 4th time. I don't remember exactly how many times I've been around this car. I got the trunk lid off. I went and got some paint. I want to get this all sanded, and then I'm going to paint that orange, the inside of the trunk lid orange, and then the trunk brackets or hinges, I'm going to paint black. So I'll tape all that orange that I paint on off, and then we'll paint those black. I got my trunk covered up in there, get a little overspray as possible in there. I want to spray my door jambs there, but I started sanding instead, and I don't know if this video is going to help anybody or if they just like watching these videos, but we'll sit here a while and sand on this and try to think of something to talk about. Make sure this is zoomed out. But anyways, the car's going good, the build's going good. Just a slow process of getting it where I want it. And I don't know how many people actually like enjoying watching this, because this is really the boring side of it, is blocking this all out. Yeah, I know, I should probably be making wider strokes, but like I said, we're only using 320. It's not coming off very fast. So it is going to be a slow, monotonous thing we're doing here. But it will be worth it in the end. Because the longer I take sanding on this and getting all the imperfections out, the better it's going to be, the nicer it's going to look. There's always going to be a critic, so don't ever worry about what people say on how you finish your car. Some give good advice, and some just want to disturb your peace. I've had a lot between the way I do things and the way I don't do things, and I've had a lot of people give me good advice, so, and that's not stopping me. That would be silly. But I'm hoping one day we'll see this thing on the road, and we're slowly getting there. It definitely looks a lot better than it used to at the beginning of the year. There was a lot of hard work gone into this. I did have someone weld panels on for me, and like the dash and the trunk filler piece. And then I had them sandblast it, and then they let me paint the underside of the car and the inside of the car at their shop, which was pretty nice. But it's sprinkled on the dash a little bit, and I got some overspray, so we're going to sand it all off and repaint it, get that all cleaned up, get it all looking good, which was the plan for today. But then, for whatever reason, I started doing this. How's it going?
Good, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Great.
You don't want a fan, do you?
Huh?
You don't want a fan, do you?
Man, as much as I want to, I don't think I can.
Right.
It's looking great, though.
Thank you. Have a good one. Mailman. I was trying to get him to help me come sand this. Not today, though. Not today. And I don't know if wet sanding this would be any better. I've never actually done much on wet sanding. I thought about trying it, but this seemed to be working just fine. I might try it right after I spray this with primer again. Oh man, it's hot out here. It's supposed to get up into 110. Bear with me. I'm gonna try to wipe this camera off, see if it looks any better, or if it's on the front of the screen. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyways, we just want to get this looking the best we can. It's been hot here lately. It's been like 110 degrees, and there's not enough room in my garage because I got the motor, and then we got the trunk lid, and then we got the hood. We got to sand all that stuff out too. And I decided to start on the car. Which is awesome. But if you are working on your own project and you want to paint it yourself, and you want a really good paint job, and to make it look the best you can, this is what you do. You spray, get your body work done, get it in primer, and then you start blocking it out, and then you're gonna respray it with primer. And that's gonna be, I did 2 coats on this when I sprayed it in primer, and then, which I consider 1 coat, and then the next time I spray it will actually be the 2nd coat that I consider the 2 coats, and we'll sand it. And what that does is all these little imperfections, like here, there's one here, it's not even a 30-second deep, and it's probably less than a 30-second, but that allows that primer to build up on top of this and get a good adhesion to it after we sand this out, and it'll fill little spots like that in. I'm not going to say it fills huge dents in. I mean, eventually it would if you did 5 or 6 coats or did this 5 or 6 times. But that's just way too much. It's just cheaper and easier just to get some actual body filler and fill it and then sand it out and then primer it and go through these steps. But I don't have that. I just have little spots that I don't like, which some of them we are going to use glazing putty to fill after I get this done. I'm not even halfway done on this quarter yet. I better get to work. But at the same time, this is going to produce a really good finish. But if you're out trying to make money, this is not the steps you want to take, because this would take way too long. I mean, unless you had 6 or 7 guys doing sanding on this all at once and doing these steps, I guess there might be money to be made. Maybe. I doubt it. And it's just a lot of manpower and a lot of work as far as that goes. So if you're just doing a project and you want it the best way that you can and you're patient and you have time to burn, this is what you do. I'm not pushing hard. You see, you just let your sandpaper follow the contour. I am being mindful of that edge here. I'm just barely pressure on the bottom side right there, so it's not working that edge down. And these pads are a lot better than actual sandpaper because my fingers, I mean, that's a pretty firm pad. My fingers are not digging in and making a hole. Trying to clean my sandpaper out, or my sanding block. I'm not making a hole with my fingers as I push, so I like these blocks where I can use them. They're not flexible enough to actually push it down because it takes a lot of force and the edges might dig in, so you got to be careful around your corners with it. I do have a 180 pad in case I get to something that I really need to knock down, but I don't have any high spots. I'm positive of that. On this quarter or with the door. If I do, it's around where the handle goes, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that at all. Keep looking at my body line. The door looks funky. I'm gonna have to fix it. But we do got a lot going on as far as the car goes. In one of my other videos, I showed you guys the interior and everything we got for the car. Got the AC in there that we're going to be applying on the car. I'm not trying to work in one area. I'm kind of trying to be all over the place so I'm not working any holes down. Oh, my phone's overheating. Oh, of course it is. Why wouldn't my phone be overheating? So, my phone is overheating. That's the joys of working in the sun. And I'm sweating my butt off. So, we're gonna do a little bit more and then let my phone cool down. I do got a couple little high spots down there. So when I do find a high spot, I switch to my 180